What up, y'all? It's your Brooklyn boy Nathaniel the Great, and you now rocking with Nolazine. Let's get it.
Okay, so tell her where are you from?
It's from Brooklyn, New York, man.
And be like, what part?
So specifically, Fort Greene Projects is where I'm from. Right there next to Bed-Stuy, Marcy, where Biggie, Jay is from. We literally blocks away from each other.
Because I remember when I was young, I just thought Brooklyn was just one big place. Like, but I didn't know they had different little sections.
Oh,
so, you gotta ask now.
Nah.
When I've been in New York, I found out, you gotta actually represent what part of Brooklyn you
Yeah,
from as
man.
well.
It's a good point. But Brooklyn is humongous.
Okay, so, I love to ask this question, because everybody, got, every pop, every talk, they talk.
Yeah.
So, and what Brooklyn is known from, getting money or being fly, because everybody from Harlem say, if it flies.
Getting fly, yeah. Brooklyn definitely, they say Queens get the money. They say we known for, robbing and taking it. It was a song Queens. Yeah, you say, what about Yonkers?
Yeah, but I know they was known for robbing and...
Yeah, but everybody was scared to come to Brooklyn for some reason.
Too.
Yeah, that's in Brooklyn, see?
Yeah.
So it's Brooklyn keep on, Bronx keep making it, Brooklyn keep taking it. It's some rap song that say that.
I think talk about.
Yeah, so they think they associate Brooklyn with the gritty, the gutter, but really nah, we cool, man. So it's spread love the Brooklyn way. So now Biggie, he rewrote that script for us into it more being a city full of spreading love.
Right. So Brooklyn music scene right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to explain it, because it's crazy being a music artist coming up in Brooklyn, because it's I gotta if I have big fields to shoot,
yeah.
Be if I have big shoes to fill,
mm-hmm.
coming behind Hove,
yeah.
Biggie,
yeah.
and, others.
Yeah.
So and what was your mindset coming in into the music industry?
Well, for me, being that I was always an R&B singer, but I still idolized the Jay-Z's, the Biggies, I always knew I had to have a strong pen, a writing ability. So that's one of the things that Brooklyn does to still in us as artists. No matter what type of music you make, whether it's drill or whether it's pop, we have a legacy of being dope writers. So in terms of what it translates, right now we big on drill. Brooklyn drill is humongous. Shout out to artists like Lola Brooke, Fabio. They're some of the ones that's killing the drill side. But the pen game, Brooklyn, we legendary with the pen. Everybody in Brooklyn got to have some type of ability to write.
Gotcha. So, how many people live in New York?
Man, I think it's 12 million or something like that. It's a lot of us in New York.
This is me being from a smaller city, state.
Yeah.
Do you think it's very unordinary to grow in the growing a place like that? Cause I feel if you can make it anywhere in New York, you can make it anywhere.
New York has this way of brainwashing us to think that, but you don't need I've seen people make it in New York and they ain't making nowhere else. I'll be honest with you. And then I also seen vice versa where they you got to take New York to really be on. I've seen people leave and then pop and they never come back to New York. They don't need the market to succeed. So it's all a myth, man. New York get glamorized via movies, TV, things like that to make the world even say, oh snap, do we have to go there? But once you live there for a long time like me, you kind of realize it's a good place to make it in, but it's not necessary no more. It's just not. But with 12 million people, if you do blow up there, you can stay there and eat in that market for the rest of your life. Yeah, it's true. But the world is bigger than that, man.
Right. Because, it was actually for the longest, you just always, heard, New York media.
Yeah.
And, it was just everything in New York.
Yeah.
Then, and here come, and with the East Coast,
mm-hmm.
had their run. Then the South came.
South went crazy,
Went crazy. But the media still was in New York.
Yeah.
Now, 30, 40 years later,
mm-hmm.
there's podcasts,
everywhere.
independent media. So do you feel artists still have to go up there off of media runs and different things like that?
That's a good point. I mean, New York does put a certain stamp on you. It definitely do. You can't ignore certain press that's in New York. Breakfast Club, the Funk Flex joint. You can't ignore it. You know what I mean? I've seen artists that got super big internationally and on their coast nationally, but they still say, yo, I gotta pass through New York and do my runs there. I gotta hit the Shade 45 with Superstar J. I gotta hit the Funk Flex. I gotta sit down with Envy. You just still want to touch that because you want to get validity everywhere. But I do think the West Coast and New York, before the internet wave, they both had a stronghold in pioneering a lot of the big music-based media platforms. So that's why you had this idea of like, oh, you got to go to New York for a very long time before the internet became a thing. To be honest with you, right now, artists could just sit in their crib and make good content and get crazy famous without visiting nobody. It wasn't like that. You had to go to a major market that pioneered it, whether the birth of hip-hop is in New York. So let's be honest. Music is going to be built around that. Then you have the people like the Angie Martinez and the big dogs that paved the way for a lot of these other podcasters. But nah, like, you know, respect to my city, man.
Right. And also, you know, just you saying that, like, I've been telling people this all weekend. I was glad that I have so many people coming from New York and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, my goal is to be that big dog in Louisiana, in the South.
Yeah.
Like, but that media powerhouse like they have in New York.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you gotta, like, I want people, you gotta come down here and see me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing your thing too.
Yeah.
The way you're doing it, the way you're building it up, I think you on track to actually creating that to where your stop is necessary when coming through your city.
And like I think that's needed because like you know some markets don't have it. Like people don't know where to go.
Right.
Like you know some people like a lot of people growing blogs and podcasts, but they're not growing full-fledged media companies.
Right.
Like
right.
you know like I grew the media company. Like you can get an article, everything you need.
Yeah.
A one-stop shop. Like how in the same way they built it in New York, like you know the sources, and, you know the like even in Philly, like hip hop since 1987, like but like for the South, no one really built that. So now, like it's crazy because like you wouldn't even think that artists from New York would actually come to the South for one media run.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. I think that might be it might be one of the reasons why a lot of people are not doing what you do because artists is not breaking their neck to find media in the South, but it's because it's not enough of it. So guys like you creating it, like, yo, listen, this is what we doing down here. It'll create the traffic. People will be coming from the West to come sit down with you. East, you know, internationally when they pass through. It's just about building up your platform and making it relevant in your city, in your region. You know what I mean?
And that's crazy because I had 10 people from New York actually flew from New York down here to interview me.
You see what I'm saying?
But I actually interviewed a few New York artists in Dallas. I'm like with Scott. I'm like Kid Goddess and a few other people. As well. So you know. You gotta travel and build. And build where you're gonna like artists, media, everything. Like whatever you do, you still gotta
move around and migrate it. And shout to Scott Morris. He always doing tours with more bookings, the whole family, bringing artists, connecting artists with shows, with media, with everything. You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna say this too. One of the fastest ways that you can build your podcast is to interview these artists from other places because they go home, put it up on their page, and then their followers in New York go, yo, I gotta go to New Orleans and see that guy because I seen this guy. Like me, I'm Nathaniel the Great. I'm heavy in the R&B. When I post this on my page, a lot of guys gonna say, I gotta go down there and see him.
But see, this to be the thing, like, you know, I'm gonna speak for the smaller people.
Yeah.
Like, artists don't really post in the smaller media content.
Yeah,
they're
it's
like,
true.
well, I ain't about to help them build.
Yeah, you get that a lot.
So it's like, you know, I've dealt with that for years, but I wasn't tripping because I knew I'm about to just be consistent.
Yeah.
In my mind, like, I'm about to be like BET. I'm about to drop content every day.
Yeah.
You gotta see me.
Yeah,
but you know, like a lot of people get very discouraged.
Right.
Because you working hard, you're doing stuff, and you know it ain't really paying off for you.
Right, and that's why I gotta say it one more time. Shout to Scott Morris because he also takes small media and take bigger artists, the ones that don't want to post, and let them know like, yo, you gotta post this. You gotta show that love. You know what I'm saying? It's about threading that needle to make sure that everybody wins. Everybody get the visibility. You know what I mean?
But the crazy part is the game changed so much. If you were smart, you would want to grow with a media company.
You would.
Because it don't matter. Like, a media company got the power to make sure you stay hot.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? You can have a hot song and be a one-hit wonder. But if you got a media relationship, you could stay in their face.
Right. Like, and media helped to create that narrative.
Like people like Soulja Boy, he stayed relevant for years off of just doing stuff for the media. But as soon as he popped a song, he was already talked about.
Yeah.
So as long as you got relationships with the media, you can always win.
Right. You
but
in
if
a
you
conversation.
don't, shit, you blackballs.
And just to watch certain media start off and grow,
right.
If you keep that relationship, you know, once that podcast or that media company grows, they pull you back on when their viewership is like at millions, and now you get a crazy look. They could get bigger than you. Some media outgrows the artist.
Facts. A lot of media companies kind of outgrew artists throughout the years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, probably probably not the like mainstream artist, but your average artist, and with a media company will outgrow an artist because they have so many artists and people tuning in.
Right.
Like artists can only get their fan base.
Yeah.
Like, but a media company got people from everywhere coming because it got so many different variety of people on there.
That's right. So, that's a good point.
But everyone like. It both still need each other.
Right. It is. It's a symbiotic relationship where they both just benefit mutually. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this question. But is R&B dead?
Nah, it's all the way back. It had this little moment where it was on pause. I can't hold you. Hip hop too. But as you can see, hip hop bouncing back too. R&B and hip hop. Like we at Essence Fest right now and it's active. So clearly, R&B is alive and well.
Yeah. So like what do you feel? I'm like the state of R&B right now.
I feel like it's finally having a decent resurgence where you got to really be able to sing. It was too many rappers that was singing like, just whatever they was doing for over the last 5 years, and it muddied the waters a little bit. It made like even the genres get crossed up. You seen these award shows, rappers winning best new R&B song. Like it was a lot of muddy waters.
Drake taking everything.
Yo, right? Like come on, what we talking about? But now you're starting to understand there's a distinction between that rap soul category, like the soulful rap, and then real R&B singing. And that distinction is the difference. That soul rap stuff, a lot of that, the conversations are more talking at women and cocky and talking crazy. R&B always been vulnerable. It's always been apologetic. It always been, listen, my heart is on my sleeves. So when you separate the two types of artists, you get that vulnerable music again. It kind of feed the souls of women again to make them come back into consuming music, to showing up at shows. You know what I mean? So you're seeing it happen now. R&B is really alive and kicking again.
So, speaking of R&B, that's another thing about the media. Like, I be looking for R&B artists. I actually want to be a full-fledged mix, because I don't want to post hip-hop all day.
Yeah,
I'm an R&B fan. I ride around and listen to R&B. I don't listen to rap music.
Yeah,
like, I listen to rap music when I'm lit about to go to the club.
Zone, yeah.
I want to listen to R&B music. I got a playlist for 30 hours of old 90s and new R&B. I add, like, if I like your music enough, I add you to that.
Yeah, that's solid.
But, like, I still got Keith Sweat Dog and play all day.
Right.
So,
right.
like, how do you think we can start getting some bigger media platforms to cover main, like, R&B artists? Like, R&B artists are hard to find. And also, a lot of R&B artists don't seem like they have the budget to, like, drop a lot of videos. Because, like, a lot of R&B artists drop visuals.
Yeah.
And like realistically, it was far as like the R&B scene who killing it is London, like at the UK.
Yeah,
like, they got a few artists, got a few R&B artists doing anything, but like UK, like out of whole lot, like they don't even really need America.
Yeah,
like people from America go and get them.
Yeah, it's true.
So like
UK, one I would say I agree with you. UK supports R&B in a different level. That's one. The R&B is the R&B artists out there is very consistent. They strong. They go hard like rappers over there in terms of dropping consistently. I suffered for a while too with not dropping enough visuals. Like me and my team came together to say, listen, we got to be more consistent. So I got my guy Mike D. You know what I'm saying? He's also an A&R on more bookings. He's shooting my content. Just dropped something like 2 days ago. We shooting something tomorrow. Because it's like you said, you're not finding it because R&B artists are just like not going as hard as the rappers.
And also being an R&B artist, R&B video wants treatment. A rapper just might go shoot in front of the stove.
Yeah,
for an R&B video, you got to find the right woman.
Yep.
You got to
tell a story a little bit.
Like, you can't freestyle R&B because, the female got to get a makeup done.
Yeah.
Like, if I was an R&B artist, I'd just go to strip club. And find me a stripper. Look, I make all stripper music. Look, I love all y'all. Look, make some quick, easy videos to grow buzz.
Yeah.
Because
that's a fact.
Like R&B, like even a female R&B, it's just so much you got to do more than a rapper.
It's
so
true.
Like and so sometimes but it might take you months to like drop another video.
Yeah.
And it also evidence in the new world. It's a like right now.
Yeah.
Everything is like
real quick.
Even music videos are sometimes becoming like like if not relevant.
Yeah.
Because people watching shorts. Like people attention spans is not there no more.
Yeah.
So you gotta grab their attention quick.
Right.
So like if you drop a video thinking you can push it like 15 years ago for 6 months, that ain't happening.
Nah.
Like what are you doing? Like what are you doing now?
Right.
Are you still promoting that? Oh yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you gotta be on to the next. You gotta be on to the next. And as you said, the budgets for R&B do have to be bigger to support an R&B career or R&B project. it has to be bigger. Rappers could drop a bunch of micro videos, but R&B artists, it has to be some meat on the bone for people to consume. You know what I mean?
And I salute any R&B artist, but if I was an R&B artist, I would be single, and I just have buku lady friends, and I get their makeup done. And everybody shoot a video once a month.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can really like grow that, you know, that fan base, because everyone's attention span is so short. You just gotta drop content.
Right.
You know?
And one of the dope things too is R&B takes a little longer to cook in the pot, but once it's thick, you see how you just mentioned Key Sweat. This is somebody from that dropped 30 years ago, but you don't let it go. So yeah, you're building a better foundation with R&B. R&B artists, if you notice, a lot of the R&B artists from the 90s is still touring today. It's hard for rappers to get that longevity like that, but R&B, it takes longer
so
to
many
cook.
of them.
Yeah, it's oversaturated. And then a lot of the messages are not hitting the way R&B soaks into people's soul to make them come out to a concert 10 years later.
But the crazy part is, like, this year, no hip-hop artist charted.
Everybody talking about that. Yeah, but that's a good sign. It means that something is
R&B
missing.
coming back, huh?
That's one of the things that's happening.
You know what, I'm telling you another reason, too?
What?
None of them artists charted, because none of them added an R&B artist on this song.
That's wild, right?
And but Lil Durk,
Yo.
and Lil Durk got the kids singing on his top song.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little second, but like nobody go get the R&B artists no more.
Because
Like,
they don't want to sing it themselves. They all want to sing their own hooks.
Drake.
Not just Drake, but all these.
No, I said,
all
but
of them.
Drake is the reason for all that.
Yeah, he pioneered.
Everybody
the,
wanna
I
be
can
Drake.
Sing. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be Drake. Like, then guess what? Like, you know, T-Pain had his turn with the auto-tunes. People thought they could do that.
Yeah. I got in the game writing hooks and singing people's hooks. I was the hook man for all these artists. Khaled, Wu-Tang, French Montana. I was writing the hooks and singing them. So that's how I got in, because it was a point, it was like 10 years ago when I started, maybe 12. Everybody needed the hook guy. They knew the significance of having a singer sing the hooks. I watched over the next decade how everybody starts singing their own songs, and it just become less impactful. You can't feel it the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just a dude that's yelling out notes, as opposed to having a singer body it. You know what I mean? And really pull it in with the passion and with the tone. So, you know, game change, shifting back though.
So, you know, let's bring it back. You know, being from New York, like, which artist embraced you and gave you your first big break, as you can see it?
I would say Pat. Pat Poose was the first artist that said, yo, keep that kid on the hook. Don't take him off. Keep him on it. Shot a video with me, all that. Gave me like that look for me to be, instead of just the writer, the singer, the hook guy. Because it's like your steps. You graduate. First you writing hooks and you're in the background and other people singing them. Ray J sung one of my hooks that I wrote, and I heard him singing. I'm like, yeah, I could have did this way better. Like, he just, he did what he do, but my original reference was crazy.
Every songwriter I heard,
Yo,
they were like, man, I could sing that song better. Like, I know Neo used to be like, I know I could do a better job.
Yeah, like Neo had
on.
to. But then when that money start coming
Yeah.
in, when Beyonce re-singing the Neo joint, I know he get it. Like, alright, it's cool. I ain't tripping.
But so I have a friend that's nice. You know, he be a big songwriter, but I just like, I don't understand how songwriters really get paid. Like, you know, like, I know you get paid points off the songs and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
like for to make the real money, you know, the singers make the money because they, you know, they go touring, they got shows, they sign a record label. But like being a songwriter, it's like sometimes a hard field because like, you know, you don't really get that credit. People don't really like, you know you.
Well, you know what?
It's a while.
It depends. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on the weight, because you know the artists are always gonna get the bread touring. That you ain't got nothing to do with that. But if you write a hit, like a real hit, I'll be honest with you, a real hit, you getting that publishing and all that the artists don't get. Artists don't get publishing unless it's Beyonce. One of her contractual obligations is, if you write my song and I use it, if you write it and I use it, I gotta get publishing on it too, as if I wrote it. She's a big dog, so you're lucky to land that. But that's one thing. So once you write a hit record, you getting all that pub, and then you in a position to get a crazy publishing deal, right? That's another thing. And then it was one more way. It's another way you get bread off of. I'm saying it like, once you establish as a writer, you can charge an upfront fee.
Correct.
You know, like Timbaland. If I want a Timbaland beat, you got to give him $100K up front, whether the record is a hit or not. You giving him $100. Once you become a Neo, yo, you can, if he write a record for you, whether you drop it or not, you giving him 20, 40, maybe 50 up front.
But you want to drop it because
You want to drop that, because if I gave you $50K for this joint, somebody gonna hear it.
Hey, but it sounds like, you know, interviews, like, as soon as people start charging for interviews, like, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, but you won't post my interview now.
Right.
I charge you for it.
Exactly.
Like, you know, I'm about to help market this thing.
Yep, 100%.
It's like, but see, the problem is, when you go to rap music, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
Because it ain't fully, strategic business.
Yeah.
Because, you know, hip-hop is like, it's kind of like drug dealing as well still.
Yeah.
It's like, you might pay for a feature, and this dude know the record label ain't gonna clear.
Right.
So you really get jacked in like, hip hop.
Yeah.
Like a singer, you really ain't really worried about like you do a feature with a singer, 9 times 10.
The business is usually better.
If 9 out of 10, and the singer gonna help you get that song out.
It's true. It's
like,
true.
Like hip hop is really like a dirty game. Like, like people really go to different times finessing people over features.
It's true.
And like, a singer not getting finessed.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take a while for the video to come out.
Right.
But you're not getting finessed.
Right. It's a fact. Nah, you said that 100%.
Gotcha. So tell the world, I'm like, what's one average day like for you?
Man, 8 o'clock, my phone ringing. It's either me having to go to a studio session or to check on like an ad campaign I'm running or check on one of my artists, checking on some of the label business, checking in with Scott and the team, seeing if we got any shows, any bookings, you know what I mean? And if we booking flights for an event that we got out of town. So it could mix up, you know what I'm saying? Changing a diaper, you know what I'm saying? One of my boys, like it could mix up.
Gotcha. So, do you have any brand of music, features, anything coming up?
Yes, new video just dropped, song called You Know It, off of my Aquarius album, shot by Mike D. Feature coming out, joint called Your Legs featuring Raheem Devon. That one coming soon, so we working.
All right, that big feature.
Big R&B.
Big R&B, huh? Big feature, huh?
Yeah, I got him and Music Soul Child both on the 2 records that I'm gonna drop them simultaneously.
Clear?
Fully clear.
Yeah, make sure it's clear.
Fully, yeah.
Make sure the business clear.
Fully clear.
Shout out Music, man. But I'm about to the concert with him down here.
Oh yeah.
The Music Soul Child.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He in Atlanta where we at, so it's it's
man,
just a synergy there.
If you gotta set that interview up with both of them when they come down here.
Oh yeah.
Tell them come out that Nolazine, man.
Yeah, I got you. They publicist is the reason why, or music publicist is the reason why I got the feature. So I hit her like, yo, tap
I'm
me on
glad
my guy.
speaking of publicists. How important it is to have a publicist?
Super important. Unless the only way you don't need a publicist is if you really learn the game and got enough plugs to kind of like learn a finesse. Like
very rare.
Yeah, very, very rare.
You know how to be plugged in the whole entire game?
No, but no publicist is plugged in the whole game. But you know how like I had moments where I had a publicist.
They don't be plugged the whole game, but they have relations with other publicists that can get stuff done for them.
That's true. That's it. Publicists, and they see it from a different lens. You don't want to be an artist having that conversation trying to get interviews and shit for yourself as opposed to a publicist having that convo for you. A publicist will look at your deck and clean it up. They know how to pitch. They know how to follow up. They know how to schedule. So you kind of need that third party to handle stuff like that.
And glad you say you don't book interviews for yourself. So like every time I look at LaBoosie interview, I'm like, I know he ain't got no PR.
Right.
You just go out there and just do it.
Yeah.
But shout out Boosie. But you can tell he ain't got no PR.
He just running out there like,
he just out there hustling. He running and gunning.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what separates you from other R&B, actually music artists, other R&B artists out there?
I try to write 90% of the music from my perspective, from my experience, things that I've been through. So when you listen to my music, it's my lens, it's my story. Because other than that, we all just singing. So it's really no difference other than your own pure life experience. So I try to put as much of that in my music as possible. And if it ain't my experience, it's somebody I was with. Somebody will tell me something they've been through that I'm close to, that I felt their pain or I felt their happiness, and then I can write based on that. So everything that I put in my music is the circumference of my environment, of my existence. So, that's where you'll find the difference from me and anybody else.
I always wanted to ask this question, I always wish I could sing, but I always want to ask the R&B this. I always want to ask one male R&B artist this. Mm-hmm. Have you ever sung one female, out there draws? Yeah.
That's we all do that. That's trained like that. You have to know how to do that.
So and while she get naked, you still like whispering there like, ooh yeah.
I sung to a chick while she was sitting on the sink while I was hitting it. We was in the bathroom. She's sitting on the sink. I'm hitting it. And I'm in her ear sing because she was like, I want you to sing to me one day and I was singing 112. We could do it anywhere while I'm hitting it. Then I try to get creative and I try to like go down and start eating out. But I'm like, wait, the words is messed up because my tongue isn't like it got complicated. But yeah, man, it's R&B shit.
And I feel like you're an R&B artist, you got a cheat code.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I hung around a lot of R&B artists, and that's the nastiest dudes I met in my
life. Right.
I rode in the car with Take a Genuine, and hearing their conversation, I can't even expose it, but them some nasty dudes.
They seen a lot, I'm sure, man.
Seen a lot. What they've done. What they've done around each other and got the women. And guess what? A lot of these people are mamas out there.
Right.
I was like, did your mama go? Hey, was your mama groupie?
Was she there? She gonna be on a documentary? I think for R&B artists too, like, it take a second for us to grow into that space. Like, when I first started singing, I didn't understand the power of, like, having a voice and, like, how it affect women. So you just think you singing, you having fun, but then as you get older, you mature and understand that connection that women have to you when you could sing something that they connect to emotionally. Once you learn that power, you got to be responsible with it, of course, but that's when you kind of grow into yourself and you become a lot more meticulous about the lyrics that you put in these songs. So you're like, damn, I could reach somebody with this line. I could say this line, and I know 90% of the women is going to relate to this. Or I know this is going to make somebody's vagina wet. So let me really, you start to become very particular about what you're saying when you grow into yourself as an artist. An R&B artist, rather.
Gotcha. So, who are your top 5 greatest R&B artists of all time? And also tell us why.
Alright, I'll start with music. And music, I start with Music Soul Child because when I was 14, I used to hand out flyers. And I would buy his albums and just analyze the lyrics, the patterns, his riffs. And that made me realize, damn, I gotta really be I gotta make sure I'm penning real stories. And so he sent me down that journey of becoming like a real artist, vocally and layering harmony, just things that I incorporated and I never let go. And then to fast forward, him being an idol and then jumping on a song for me, he always gonna be number 1 on the list. You know what I'm saying? Being a humble guy, so that's him. And then after that, I'll go through a few. Usher, I'll give it to Usher. Chris Brown, I gotta throw it to him because of his years of consistency. Like, I'm not gonna wait till he die or become 40 to
I got an argument. Like, I love telling people this. I know people hate it.
Yeah, what is it?
Chris Brown the closest thing to Michael Jackson ever.
He is. That's not a no.
And third is Usher.
Yeah,
but Usher was there.
Usher was there
for the whole.
He was there for a long time.
Chris Brown elevated, but guess what? If Chris Brown had the right guidance and the baby faces and the stuff that everybody else had molded,
yeah,
and Chris Brown would have the other back end of the bad stuff,
yeah, he would have been.
Chris Brown be the greatest of all time. Nobody could stop him.
Because his brand got so tarnished for a little while, right. But he still came out of that.
No R&B artist could go through that. No, I personally did Chris Brown concert. I never seen an artist didn't want his production no more and just had a blue wave screen and did the dance moves in front of people. I never seen an artist that's a full. I never seen an R&B artist that's a full-fledged
entertainer like that. Yeah, that level of entertainment and how hands-on he is with the choreo, with the lyric, the content.
He gonna get his flowers when he go. That's the crazy part.
That's the yeah.
But he get the flowers now, but he gonna get the real flowers, and that's sad.
The question you asked me, you'll notice you don't hear people saying that. They don't put him in that top 5. They just don't.
We speak on him. We gotta speak on. If we speak on him, we gotta speak on everything.
Yeah.
But the goat of R&B gotta be R. Kelly. It don't matter what he did.
Yeah.
It don't matter what he did.
Definitely.
But musically,
yeah.
Not just the music he put out, the music behind the scenes he did.
Even going to the Trapped in the Closet and showing a new way of
he shot a movie with an R&B video.
Mm-hmm.
like movie,
15
but he
parts.
really was growing to that with Down Low, and people just didn't pay attention how musically he was.
It's a good point.
How people don't realize how smart and talented he was, even though that's what everybody who messed up in the head is very genius somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you ever read like psychopaths, they really be geniuses. They really be smart as shit.
Yeah, that's real.
But R. Kelly's just crazy. They gonna say what they want, but a lot of R&B artists went through what they went through when they was younger.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him no pass for what he did.
No, of course.
But musically wise, you gotta.
His musical.
The man wrote "I Believe I Can Fly." That song, it don't matter what he did, they gonna still play in the school.
Yeah. Right.
You just can't stop it.
Yeah, it's good music.
But that's R. Kelly. But I won't hear it. Your last.
For Usher, Chris Brown, we got number 1 Music Soul Child, of course. And for these last 2 slots, who I would really throw in there, this is on the gospel side. Oh, no. I gotta throw Donny Hathaway in there. Donny Hathaway, vocally, rest in peace. If he was still around, he'd have been a problem. Just where he was vocally then, people are just starting to do those type of riffs and runs. So this last slot, I'll throw 2. Gospel, Smokey Norfolk. It's just one of my top favorite. He gospel, but it's just the way that his runs are. I used to be like, yo, studying that dude. And just last on the R&B side, strong singer. It's a few, but I'll give it to. This is a recent favorite because I started recently studying just the way that he vocally where he's at and never really branched off to really go on his own. But it's Q from 112.
Oh,
vocally where he, especially now that
you kind of look like.
No, Slim is the one I was like, yeah. I hear that all the time. All the time. I know where you was going. I know where you was going. But Q from 112, just looking at him more recently, and me being in Atlanta, seeing him doing shows live now, I'm like, yo, this dude's voice was. Nobody really paid attention to it the way because there's a group. And Slim had the soft, sweet voice, so he kind of overshined everybody in a way. But the dude Q vocally, I'm like, I'll throw him in that mix. There's a lot of others. I'm just giving you my top current 5.
You know who? It's an R&B artist that I loved. I had him on my pedestal. But his Tiny Desk didn't give me what I wanted. And he did a Tiny Desk with my friend Lucky Day. But Raphael Sadiq, I was like, I'm like, dang, he didn't give me the Tiny Desk I was looking for.
Yeah,
he didn't give me the Tiny Desk I was looking for. Every boy Lucky Day on, like shout out Lucky.
Lucky dope, Lucky's super dope.
That's my boy. I grew up with Lucky.
Oh, that's fire.
And like a lot of great artists come from R&B artists. Been coming from
New Orleans
Frank
got
Ocean.
a real good. That's a big dog.
And guess what?
There.
Frank Ocean and Lucky Day went to school together, and they don't even know each other. Went to high school together. That's crazy.
That just show you it's something that was cooking in that time.
Our high school's not big like New York and none of that. It's just Frank always been a person of his own.
Yeah.
I think he like an introvert.
You can tell.
He's not one of those people that just.
He was just in a cut, and then one day just comes out and be one of the greatest.
And people be shocked, like Frank Ocean with the John Eric.
For real?
But Frank Ocean was born in California, but he just popped up in New Orleans.
That's crazy.
Went to high school. I didn't know he went there. Then we got, Luke James. We got a lot of
incredible singer right there. I think New Orleans, like culturally,
John Baptiste,
y'all influence a lot.
Yeah, we got some
PJ Morton.
Yeah, we got some R&B artists coming now.
Yeah.
But like, I'm ready for to see. Like, I wanna find R&B artists and really push that with my platform. So I'm gonna start looking for more R&B artists.
Nah, I appreciate you.
That for real.
Thank you for even having me. This is dope for me to be here in a place that y'all got a strong R&B background.
Right.
So
I didn't realize till one day I was like, dang, these people from here.
Yeah.
And
if you know, see, I can't say the.
I seen him.
Big dog right there.
Yeah,
dope, super talented.
I was
kid.
like, dang, we have some people.
Yeah, New York don't have. You see how you got that rundown? We don't have that. We got Case. I think Case was from New York. I'll shout Capella Gray. He's current and he doing R&B kind of Caribbean, but we don't got a long list of R&B artists. Me.
And so I thought the R&B artist was from there because they were signing Diddy, but they wasn't from there.
Oh, now they're making which ones? Making it big.
Like Carl Thomas and
they all from like Atlanta and
right. I thought just being signed to Bad Boy.
Right, you would think so. Nah, we don't have a lot.
And where is like 112 from?
Atlanta.
Dang.
Yeah, those Atlanta dudes. Yeah, solid Atlanta.
So he
cats.
never really had no R&B.
Nah, New York don't.
So he all got females from R&B.
We do got females. Yeah.
Mary J from New York, right?
Mary Yonkers. Yeah, she from up top. She from up top. Ashanti was from New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ashanti.
Shout out to Ashanti. Yeah, who is it? Just say it out loud. Another artist. He said it. Say it. Yeah. New York. Say it.
Oh, Faith Evans.
Faith Evans.
Shout out Faith Evans. She was just here Wednesday. Shout out Faith Evans.
Oh, word.
She's always here.
Yeah.
She always get booked here. Yeah, cause like New Orleans have that, that flavor of basically we kind of take R&B songs and make it and add bounce to it. Like so that's like, and if your song got like bounce down anyway, we love you.
Oh yeah.
Like John Legend song got bounced so much that they made it 10 different songs down here.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens? Like y'all radio pick up the bounce version and play the bounce version.
And when you hear that bounce, like the bounce that you hear now,
like
all them songs been getting bounced. Like people just starting to bring it out more. Like Beyonce, you don't break my soul, but like we've been doing bounce music. Like we've been taking people's songs and like Beyonce had 10 bounce songs she didn't never perform for.
That's crazy.
Right.
I ain't know that.
Yeah. Like everything get like.
So radio down here would play the bounce version before the regular version, like the radio.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like for a 5 o'clock mix, you gonna have bounce music. Like bounce music is bigger than other music.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. Like Big Frida is like big.
Yeah.
Big Frida is big. Like here.
Wow.
Like that's why Big Frida be voices here. You hear Big Frida voice on Beyonce.
Yeah.
Big Frida's big here.
Damn.
Yeah. Like Big Frida's opened up his own hotel here.
That's crazy.
He's big.
Wow.
But like bounce is just different. But the crazy part is our bounce sound come from New York.
What?
Yep.
How?
Brown and Triggerman and Showboys from New York.
So what? They created it down here though?
No. If they took, but the mixes from hip hop,
Yeah.
dun, 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 and all that,
Yeah.
all them beats and sounds, they took it from New York and brought it here and mixed it all together and made some gumbo. They called it bounce music.
That's
But
crazy.
it comes from New York.
That's crazy because
Yeah.
New York don't really like. I'm learning
Show
about
boys,
bounce.
yeah.
I'm learning about bounce now. Like coming down here.
And you go to any party, that's he gonna hear some.
Oh
bounce
yeah,
music.
we seen. You know what I'm saying? We heard some bounce music down here.
But the crazy part is, you know, as an R&B artist from New York, I would try to like tap into that.
I am.
But,
I am.
So I got a friend that I was talking about, a writer. His name V. I'm gonna throw his name out there. He's in Atlanta, from New Orleans.
Yeah.
He writes for Coco Jones, everybody. So he just came up with a new genre called Afro Bounce.
Oh, that's.
So he's been in
crazy.
Cape Town and like he's actually under Rodney Jerkins. So he like writes a lot.
Yeah.
Like Jazzy Fear, Rodney Jerkins, but he has his own genre. And he's mixing that.
Mixing
Afro
with bounce
music.
That's probably
I'm gonna let you check his song. He actually just made it back down here today. Like we all gonna be in the R&B stuff tomorrow. But
Yeah.
Like he have an Afro one. So like if you could, you can find your producer down here.
Yeah.
Make your bounce song.
Yeah.
And jump on it.
Let us know where you at tomorrow. I pull up on y'all. We connect.
Like if you could, because I've been hearing like a lot of more artists use it mainstream now.
Yeah.
Like our bounce.
Yeah. I would tap in. I seen the way they went crazy in the club for that down here yesterday.
No,
I'm like, this is crazy.
No, like Drake. Drake had 2 #1 songs that was New Orleans bounce music.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah. Like the song Kiki,
Kiki,
Do You Love Me?
yeah.
Like then he had another song, like Nice for What He had 2 songs on that album.
Yeah.
I forgot the exact songs, but
Yeah, it was Kiki for sure. Kiki has
I
a
don't know
bounce
exactly.
segment.
Yeah,
There's a segment of it that goes
Yeah, but-
into it.
and
At
the
the
song
end.
not called Kiki though.
It ain't called Kiki. Yeah, it's not called
It was
Kiki.
Nice for What, and it's another song. He had both of them on that same album.
Yeah.
But like he had 2 bounce songs, and look how
And it took off, right?
Then,
Yeah.
like ever since he did it, more people started grabbing it. So.
Yeah, that's how it worked. They see a mainstream artist do it, and then it's like.
But actually Drake been tampering with it. Nobody just he did a lot of few other songs every girl bounced to that whoa. He was opening the industry up to it.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
more people use it.
In My Feelings, that's the name
In My
of the song.
Feelings, yeah. So it was even like New York, everybody got their sound for a while, then they change it around.
It switches up, yeah, always. It's always a seasonal thing.
So being in the music industry for over like a lot of years now,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell the world how old he is. What do you enjoy most about it? What do you hate about it?
I hated the era where, and I still kind of hate it in a way, but it's changing, where social media, like the numbers and all that, could make somebody overlook real talent. I hated that. I was at a time dropping music before it was Twitter and Instagram. So you had to really look at somebody's resume. And I loved that when you had a real resume and people rock with you because of that. Or they looked at your talent, listened to your music and say, yeah, I'm going to rock with him because I hear it. And then it shifted to where, if you ain't verified on IG or whatever,
nobody.
they won't even check. Yeah, they won't even hear you out to see if you dope or not. So I hated that. Even while being verified, I hated that. I'm like, yo, I hate that people are checking me out because I'm verified, but I'm going to play the game. But what I love... Yeah, you gotta play the game. That's what it is. But what I do love about the music now is the business side of it. Once you start to unlock certain things about the business, you kind of control your own destiny. And I just love that. You know what I mean? The way me and my team is just doing what we want, and we controlling our pace. And no matter what doors is in front of us, like we either kicking it down or we just building our own house, and people got to come rock with us regardless because we learning the business.
Gotcha. So tell us, what's next for you?
Oh man, I would say next biggest thing, new album, working on. You know what I'm saying? Put a new album together. Shooting another video. Just dropped the video yesterday, so I want everybody to run that up. Run that up for me because it's super important. Song is called You Know It. Single coming, Your Legs with Raheem Devon. Above Average with Music Soul Child. Gonna shoot that video as well. And last but not least, we doing a festival in Dallas. Day Summit, Dallas, on August. So if anybody want to come out, rock with us, perform, get to know us, come to some of the parties, some of the shows.
Hey man, but I'm gonna tell that boy, I'm like Scott to fly me out, man, to Dallas.
All right, yeah, pull up,
man,
pull up.
Hey, just put me on the tax write-off.
Yes, sir.
All right, and also last but not least, tell the world, I'm like, what can they find you at on social media and everywhere?
Social media, Nathaniel Online is my Instagram. My label page is The Great Ones. It's _ The Great Ones _ And if you have an iPhone or Android, just go to the App Store and search my name, Nathaniel. I got my own mobile app where you can get all my content and all that for free.